Hi, this is Arlie Carson, and this is a quick video on setting up with Envato and why and how we'll be using Envato for your website project. Basically, the way I work, if you've seen in any of my other videos, I'll talk about why I do the things I do and the way I do it. And one of the most important things to me is for my clients to have control of access to their products, of access to their hosting account for their website, all sorts of things. And if you set up your account with Envato, in this case, then you have the username and password that you can change at any time. And the reason I say that is because once you set up your account with Envato, you'll need to give me your username and password. And what I'll be doing is going in and I will be placing items in your shopping cart on Envato for things that I'll need, like WordPress themes, images, plugins, and we'll go into that in a minute. But the long and the short is when you have the ability to change the username and password to any of your accounts, then you can control access to that. So that if there's ever a need for someone else to get involved, you can give them access, or you can change things as you see fit. But the long and the short is you have control. The second benefit with doing it this way is that you also save. If you were to hire a website designer or a content creator, hopefully you're hiring me, and this is why you're looking at this. But when you hire someone, you want to make sure that you can save as much as you can on the products being used in your website. And by that I mean most website designers and developers, they prefer to purchase the products that they're using on the site themselves and then marking that up and selling it to you. Nothing wrong with that. It's just that for me, there's a secondary reason as to why I prefer you to purchase the items, but I'll get to that in just a sec. But the long and the short is when you do purchase the item, you're purchasing it directly from Envato. It has nothing to do with me, other than I chose what needed to be purchased and placed that in your shopping cart. Then you made the purchase, and then I was able to download the product after you purchased it. Well, when you did it that way, you saved because you bought it directly from Envato. No markup, no third party, none of that, no middleman or woman. But the long and short is you purchased it at cost. So you save by doing it that way. I work exclusively with WordPress to build websites. And the reason I do that is because there are a lot of reasons, but primarily for the security and the time saving. There's a lot of benefits to that that I see personally, but it saves you because it doesn't take as much time for me to get that website up and going because I'm using WordPress Content Management Systems, or CMS, and you benefit in saving, once again, on time, but you also benefit because of the security aspects that are involved in WordPress. Now, with WordPress, there are other items like themes and plugins, but what is WordPress? Again, WordPress is a content management system, and it is an open source program, but it's also free. Now, the other items that go along with the WordPress are WordPress themes and WordPress plugins. Now, WordPress themes are sites that have basically been built. It's almost like when you purchase a new home and you get there, obviously you pick the lot and then you pick the floor plan that you want and you have it built. Or in some cases, some builders will go out and they'll build a house on a lot that may be in a subdivision, and they'll have it, roughly about 75% done. And they stop at that point because what they do is they enable the purchaser, the buyer, to go in and pick their floor their floor covering, their tiles, their countertops, all sorts of things, their paint colors, you name it. Okay. So those are what I call the trim out options for builders. Well, in this case with the WordPress theme, it's basically the same thing. It's about 75% done. So what I do is I go in and we pick your colors, pick your images, we design your graphics. There's all sorts of things that we do. That we can do layouts, change layouts. But the long and the short is because it's already 75% done, it's not going to cost you anywhere near as much. And the thing is with Envato, you're purchasing the theme. All I'm doing is saying, okay, this is the theme I think would work best for you. So I'd like you to purchase this theme. So I go into the Envato account that you've created. I put that theme, that WordPress theme, in your shopping cart. The other thing that goes along with WordPress is WordPress plugins. Now, plugins are items that work inside of a WordPress theme. And of course, the WordPress theme works inside of WordPress CMS. Okay, but anyway, plugins add features to the WordPress theme. So there could be galleries, there could be videos, there can be form builders. There's all sorts of things. Just when you create a blog and you click the submit button to publish it, there can be plugins that will automatically push that blog submission to your social sites like Facebook and Instagram and Pinterest and Twitter automatically. So as soon as you create the blog, which is, kind of like a web page, but it's about an article or something that you wanted to write up about your business or whatever. But the long and short, and you've added images to it, all sorts of things. But the long and short is a plugin can be installed in that theme that will create a feature that enables the theme and the system, the content management system, to push that blog post to your social sites automatically, which saves you time so that you don't have to go through and redo that same thing. And as far as social media marketing is concerned, you don't have to go and duplicate your efforts. It's automatically done for you. Well, that's what plugins do. They add these features. So the benefit to the plugin is we can pick and choose the plugins. We can go into Envato, and in their system, they offer tons of plugins. We can pick and choose, or if there's some features that you and I discuss that you want to add to the site, for example, the auto submission for social media, then we purchase the plugin. And then we install that in the theme or the content management system. And from there, it's an automatic thing. It's automatically working. So that's the benefit of the plugins. There are hundreds of thousands of plugins that have been developed for WordPress. So what I do is, again, in order to help you control and save, is you have the account established with Envato. You have the username and password. You give it to me. I go through, pick and choose themes, plugins, images, stock footage, all graphics, you name it, all sorts of things that are sold via Envato in your shopping cart. I put them in your shopping cart, and then you purchase them at cost. Now, another important aspect of the items that are purchased for use on the website. If you've ever looked at the bottom of a lot of websites in the footer section, you're going to see copyright, 2017, and usually it's the name of the people that own the website. If a developer or designer has sold you their hosting, and they're hosting your website, they have access or control access to the back end. The hosting account is just like a file folder on your computer. It's just on the internet. But in that file folder on that hosting account are all your files and images and graphics and everything, text and the website and the whole 9 yards. They're all inside that folder on the hosting account. You may need at some point in time in the future to gain access to that, and sometimes the developer or designer will give you access. Most times they won't. Now you own the copyright and the licensing and the website, and here these people are not giving you access to your own files in the hosting account that they have established for you. And that's kind of why, like in the other video I talk about, not using or allowing the website designer developer to host your site. You set up your own hosting. Well, when you purchase your products in Envato, here's another issue that can pop up. If I were to purchase them, or if any other designer developer were to purchase products to be used on your website, just like when you buy a book to read at a bookstore, well, you are given the book to read, but you can't reproduce it. You can't do anything with it. You can't make money off of it because the author holds the license and copyright to that book. Well, the same thing holds true for your website. So you want all the licensing, everything that's used on the website, images, everything. You want everything to be licensed to you in your name for legal purposes. Well, when you purchase the product on Envato under your account, every item purchased is licensed to you. You will be able to make the purchase. Then, of course, the product can be downloaded, but also in that is another link under the download process that enables you to download the actual license. And my preference is for you to have that license in your name. And by virtue of the fact that the product was purchased under your account, not only did you save because you bought it at cost, but when the license is issued for that product to be used on your website, the license is issued in your name and not mine, or not any other designer or developer. It's issued to you. So when you go to print that license or download the license, you've got it. And you know, there's a purchase code, there's the license number and the whole 9 yards. And there's also who the product is licensed to. And that name should be yours. So yeah, you control the license and you save money because you purchased the product yourself directly. All I did was put it in your shopping cart, clearly made the recommendation for the purchase, but I put it in your shopping cart. The ultimate decision is in your control as to whether or not you're actually going to purchase the product that I've recommended. So in closing, you control access to your account in Envato. You purchase the products that are recommended at cost, so there's no markup. And because you purchased the product through your account in Envato, when a license is generated, which with every purchase a license is generated, the license is in your name. So that's if you purchase royalty-free music to play in the background for some project or what have you, or if you purchase images, stock footage, video, or stock images to be used as generic images on your website, all sorts of things. The plugins, the WordPress plugins, the WordPress theme, all of the items that you've purchased are all purchased through your account at cost. And a license is generated to you in your name for every one of the products purchased. So there'll never be an issue with regard to who controls licensing, period. And of course, with the hosting is who controls access to the hosting account, period. You're in ultimate control. You've purchased everything at cost. You didn't pay a markup. You saved a lot of money by using WordPress themes, so that we cut the time we start on working on your website to the time we get it published to the public in almost 3/4 off, simply because all we're doing is the trim options, the trim out. We'll add functions like with plugins. We can add quick functions then of course set it up. But the long and the short is there's so much time saved because you're not having to have something built from scratch and then paying an arm and a leg for it. So anyway, I hope that helps you with regard to why I use Envato and why I want my clients to set up their own account and purchase the products themselves. I really appreciate your time, and I hope you have a great day. Take care.